Welcome to the Wild Type Podcast. I'm Lyssa Slizzards.
I'm Neptune the Chameleon.
And we're your reptile girlies. So I'm officially doubly tatted now.
You have 2 times your tattoos.
I've doubled my tattoos in 1 week.
You cracked me up, though, when you announced on the pod. You're like, I've made 2 appointments. You hadn't even gotten your first one.
I know. Well, it's because these 2 tattoos I've just been planning for so long. So I knew that I wanted them. I wasn't questioning it. There's something to be said, and I will talk about my tattoo in just a second. I'm going on a mild tangent already, 5 seconds in. But there's something to be said about if you know that you want more than one, having one and not the balance of not having the other ones yet. Now that I have the 2, it feels like my arm is slightly more balanced. Whereas if I just had the 1,
then you'd walk a little lopsided.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt like it very much and I'm sure people who plan their sleeves or plan different things or whatever, have these thoughts in their head. But for me, it was well, if I'm going to have 1, I would at least rather have 2 so that it feels even. Is that crazy? Maybe
I'm trying to think of
I don't know.
a scenario where I've felt that way. But the only thing I can think of is if I'm going to have 1 chocolate cupcake, I might as well have a vanilla one.
That's honestly kind of the vibe. That's kind of the vibe. It's
I know I want a chocolate and a vanilla, so
right.
I should just get them both.
Right. It's, it's just that's pretty much what it feels like. It's very much okay, well, I've been sitting on both of these ideas for a really long time. So anyway, okay, I got my tattoo.
I'm just going to ramble off the same questions I asked you for the first tattoo. How nervous were you going into this one?
I think I was actually more nervous because this was an artist that is a very big artist on social media and stuff. So I had no idea what to expect. She's also a traveling tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. So it's just a very different vibe. The first place that I went to was a fully independent women-owned studio, and it was very lively and chatty, and there were all these people there, and it was very busy and all these things, and you could tell that there were 10 artists working there at one time, right? So this one was polar opposite.
Oh, okay.
And it was so interesting. This was actually in New York, so we went to New York for this, and basically we get there, it doesn't look like a tattoo shop at all.
Okay.
It almost looks like an art gallery.
Oh.
And I was real confused. And so we open the door, and immediately there's just this big set of stairs. So you go down the stairs in this place. The whole place is white and chrome.
Oh.
Super modern.
Okay.
Super not tattoo.
But the first place wasn't super traditional tattoo parlor either.
But still dark academia vibes. You know what I mean? Very I feel tattoo culture kind of has a little bit of that kind of most tattoo shops are a little darker. They're not bright and
edgy.
light.
Yeah.
They're edgy. And so it was so polar opposite of that. So we walk in and there's a coffee bar with a guy behind it for espresso and matcha. And I'm literally is this a tattoo shop? What is happening? And so I'm getting nervous simply because I'm what is going on?
Sure.
Right? So my nerves were more so what is this? It was so strange. And so we order, I order a matcha, we order coffee, whatever. And then he's do you have an appointment? And I was yeah, at 10. So we go and sit down, and then we wait. She comes in. She was very, very professional, very, very nice, but very quiet. We did not chit chat. We literally we had already decided on the design beforehand. I had approved it. So we get there, she sets up my placement, we decide on the placement, and then I go and sit in the lounge for another couple minutes while she gets set up. And then I lay down, and 45 minutes later it was done. And we didn't talk one time while it was being done.
Okay, so this is good then, that this was not your first tattoo.
Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't
you
the
needed
first.
The artist that was so tell me about your reptiles.
100%.
You needed that distraction for that first one.
Yes, I
did.
And
I wonder if she would have handled it differently if it was your first versus Because she obviously
could
knew
see
you
the other
already had
one.
the other
Right,
one.
right.
And did you tell her that you had just gotten that one?
No, I did, but I'm sure she can tell. Like she can
that's
tell
like a fresh.
She can tell what's like a fresh tattoo and like what's not.
Sure.
So
That's fair.
I'm sure she could tell. But it was very good, very professional, very chill. It was just like no talking, and I was like, okay, cool.
It's kind of like when you get a massage.
Yes.
And you have
Are they going to be talking to me or are they not?
Yes. Versus like a quiet massage, And you're just like, oh, okay. This is what we're doing.
A slightly different vibe, but same. When you have like a dental assistant who is super chatty.
That one's hard though because
you're in your mouth.
Yes.
But like,
you can only ask me yes or no questions.
I have had some incredibly chatty dental assistants. So I don't know. But anyway, long story short, it was really great. It was wonderful.
Pain.
I was just about to say. Definitely this one hurt more.
Okay.
But it's so weird because I would not use the word pain.
Because this is larger.
Yes.
It has color.
Yes.
It has shading.
Yes.
It just is more
all
in
around,
yes.
more intricate, more stuff. And just for any of our, audio listeners who can't see, and I don't even know if video can see it very well from here, but it's a blue bonnet, a sprig of rosemary, and a couple of sprigs of lavender with a little blue bow on it. And
pink bow.
Pink bow. Thank you. What did I say?
Blue bow.
Sometimes the things that are in my head
I try
don't
really
properly
hard
come out of
not
my
to
mouth.
correct you because I feel like that's kind of rude to like.
Oh, I don't care.
But
please correct me.
It's literally just the wrong color.
It's a pink bow. It's because I was looking at the blue bonnet as I said. Yes. So pink bow. So it's like purple, green, blue with a little pink.
It's
bow
adorable.
on it. It's so cute, and it's on my forearm, kind of like under my elbow.
Yeah.
So anyway, where was I going?
Pain.
Thank you. I'm all over the place today. So pain, it was so interesting because I could tell it got slightly more painful the more that she went towards my inner arm, which is more sensitive skin. So that makes sense. So like the rosemary was definitely the most quote unquote painful part. But it definitely was more painful. And I could tell when I could feel when she was doing a little bit of like the shading stuff because I could tell she was going over what she had already gone over. So it was a little bit more painful.
Oh, so it'd be tender.
It was almost like just tender. Mm-hmm. But again, it was like, I literally like almost fell asleep. I'm not joking. It was like a 45-minute thing. And like there were a couple times, and I had to lay on my stomach this time.
Yeah.
So last time I was on my back, which I do prefer. I don't love being on my stomach the whole time. But it was just, I literally had a pillow this time and I was like laying down and I had my arm up, which sometimes I do sleep like that. So I literally was kind of like dozing off once or twice.
Position.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a stigma that females getting tattoos is like
for sure
a walk in the park, and then males getting tattoo is like a more intense experience. I don't know, and I don't have any tattoos, so I'm not. This is just stereotypes, right?
I can only talk about my two experiences with fine line small tattoos. So like,
but
I don't know.
You can't deny that women go through some stuff. Okay.
Unfortunately, you guys know everything that I've gone. Fortunately, unfortunately, you guys know everything with my uterus. So like, I think I can handle a little pain, which is why it's like, when you ask me like, how was the pain? I'm like, was it uncomfortable? Kinda. But like, did it like genuinely hurt to the point where I was like feeling like I was in pain? No.
Yeah. Cause your first one is like black.
Yes.
Single line,
no
like,
shading.
Yeah.
No color. No nothing.
So like, again, I think a good first tattoo.
100%.
And then I think this one is more indicative of what like a more traditional tattoo would feel like.
I wouldn't use the word traditional, but I know what you mean.
Like a classic.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Like tattoo experience where it is of a decent size, it's got color, shading, it's more than a quick 10-minute, whatever.
Yes.
I didn't mean traditional in the traditional tattoo sense, but
I'm only saying that because that is like a category of tattoos. But I will say, like, it did shock me how fast it was. I was expecting to be sitting there getting actually tattooed for like over an hour, and it was not. I would say it was in between like 30 and 45 minutes. Like, it really wasn't bad.
Do you think that's a testament? And obviously, you don't have a ton of experience to go off of like tattoo duration, but because she's like such a professional and like this is very much her specialty, that like it's probably easier for her to like crank something like that out versus maybe an artist that doesn't do as much in that style?
I think so. And I have seen a lot of her work. Like she literally is putting Renaissance paintings on people that are incredibly intricate, incredibly detailed, and much bigger pieces. And she does those a lot. So I'm sure that like this tiny little bouquet was a walk in the park for her.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Like I really think this is like this is probably her like bread and butter type of like work that she does like more often. These are her like shorter, quicker things, and then she has her really time consuming like bigger pieces. Yeah. So I definitely think that's the case. I think this is just like she was like, oh yeah, that's a bouquet. That's easy, no biggie.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Another tattoo, so of course, keeping you guys in the loop.
Yes.
But speaking of art, I guess
we also
both have
new nails.
Yay! At the same time,
we're on our schedule and we need to keep it this way.
I know, until one of us slacks and
I know.
Whatever. But I just got mine done today. I tried to get them done a couple days ago, but my nail artist, Lena is her name, was out of town. Like she took some PTO. And I told her, I was like, I'm so glad you took time off. But at the same time, I was bummed because I tried to get my nails done. But I went today, all was well, because I knew we were filming today. And I knew you had gotten yours done. And I was itching to get mine, although I was sad to see the strawberry go.
The strawberry was great, but I will say I think these are one of my favorites that you've ever done, and I'm very excited about them.
Yeah, these were actually voted on our Instagram poll. If you don't follow us, the Wild Type Podcast, please do. And so I had put out 3 designs. One were these, which were the most popular ones you guys voted on, followed by the strawberries, and then the third one, I really just wanted 3 to choose from, and I thought they were cute, but they weren't like a front runner. Strawberry felt seasonal, so I was like, okay, let me get those done. And then I was so for 2 months basically I've been waiting to do
these are incredible
to do these nails.
Tell the people, what are we looking at?
So the way that she did it, it was like a milky base, which I know you have opinions on. Milky nails. Then she did a matte finish. Then she took eyeshadow powder.
I love it when they use the eyeshadow powder. It's so creative.
Kind of did like a little blotchy teal and blue area. So it's like half teal blue, half milky, right? Yeah. Then on top of that, went with like a teeny brush and did these little squiggly marks. And it kind of reminds me of like a map, you know? Like elevation map.
To me, it feels very like waves in the surf on a beach.
Oh, like Avatar water movie?
Yes.
Because they're coming out with a new one. That like Ash Avatar or whatever.
It feels like when the tide is coming in and it's got all the white sea foam. Like that's what it's giving to me.
Yes. I could see that too. Yeah, she did a fabulous job, though.
It's incredible. Her line work is crazy.
Yeah, it took really an hour and a half. I did feel bad because as I put it in the little light to, you know,
did you screw it up?
I bumped just the teensiest edge. And I like pulled it out. I was like, I'm so sorry. She's so like, sorry. You don't worry about it. And like she very quickly just like fixed it because she's like, at least you didn't get like the whole nail. And it really wasn't. It was just like the teeny little edge. But they're fabulous. I'm excited. I'll have them for a month. So
no, I'm obsessed. They're, like I said, I think one of my favorites you've ever done.
Wow.
They're really cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Really cool. The teal is very fun too.
Yeah, I thought the color was good.
No, it's a great color. And I will say, like, I don't love Milky Base on its own, but I think when it's added with all the stuff, like, I don't care. Milky's amazing in that regard. Like, I love that.
No, I thought they were fabulous. I'm very happy with them.
They're perfect.
Okay, your turn.
Mine are crazy.
What did Rosie do?
Rosie went a little wild this time. She will often she'll usually like message me before my appointment and be like, what are you thinking? And then it's funny because she'll ask me what I'm thinking and I'll send it to her, but then she'll rebuttal and send me other things.
But last time she did what you wanted.
Sometimes she'll do what I want, but sometimes she has opinions and she wants to do what she wants to do, and I usually just let her run with it because why not? So she went a little crazy this time. We did a lot of neon. So each hand is totally different. It's basically a base of blue, white, neon pink, neon green, and neon orange. And then she did these 3D flowers, but I wouldn't call them like traditional flowers.
They kind of look like a splat.
I think they look like the SpongeBob flowers in the ocean. You know what I'm talking about?
Because I have Nickelodeon in my head. Yes. And you know the Nickelodeon?
It does look like a splat, yes.
But the SpongeBob flowers is also a good...
Like,
descriptor.
The SpongeBob flowers that are like in the ocean behind them in the background of everything, it kind of looks like those. And those are also different colors with chrome put on them. So they're wild today.
Oh yeah.
And I really, really like them. They're really cool. So big fan, but she went nuts.
Yeah. So you've got the builder gel, which I know you love.
I am such a builder gel girl. I'm at a point where like I don't really want nails without builder gel.
These you can feel if you feel just slightly.
Yes, yeah, you can.
Just a little bit of the.
It's just the layer,
lines,
the additional layer of polish. Yeah.
But those strawberries I had were so fun.
I'm telling you, it's like so fun to play with.
I do love a fresh set that's like perfectly smooth, that you haven't whacked them on anything.
Who doesn't? It's the greatest.
Yes.
It's so good.
So yes, go look on our Instagram and you'll get up close of what our nails look like. We'll post to our stories. Yes. I did film another nail transition. I remembered to.
You're really on top of it. I did not remember at all. So I need to get on it. I need to figure that out.
Yes. So I did that. They're fun for me. Plus, it's a good skill set to have good transitions. But
yes. Well, not a good transition, but we'll move it right along to our next topic.
Yeah, I think it works.
So obviously we have been building like our reptile social media accounts for many, many years now. And we took it to a next level with a podcast. But we've like learned a lot of things along the way, right? And so like I don't know how many of our listeners are trying to actually like create content, but I know there are a handful of you. And so even if you aren't looking to do that, these can be like just fun, interesting, like marketing tips and like things that we think through. But we were going to talk through just like some tips for growing your reptile social media accounts.
Yes. And this could be maybe from you just are a pet keeper and you're interested in kind of like growing your following. Maybe you're a animal rescue or you're trying to do educational content and maybe you are in school for reptiles or something like that. Maybe you're a business.
Yes.
And this could be not just for reptiles, but I know Willow's mom has like a bakery, right?
Oh, cool.
And everything. So like could be something like that. You could be a reptile breeder and you're trying to grow in that regard. Like, and I think it's just interesting from a content consumer perspective too, of like understanding the strategy and thought process that goes into it. And I know a lot of people in my personal life are like, I want to start a podcast. And I was like, no one's going to listen to your podcast if they don't know who you are, right? Like they have to know who you are. You have to be able to reach people if that's your goal. Yes. If your goal is to grow, then you have to be thoughtful about it. So we're just going to share our tips and tricks. And if you're not interested in growing and you're just making stuff just to make it, then like, please do that. But
like you said, it doesn't have to just be reptiles either. Like whatever you may be doing, these are some decent tips.
So first kind of like category, nail your niche in branding.
I appreciate that it's nailing it because we just went over our nails.
But like pick a focus, right? If it's reptiles, you could go even more deeper in that regard. Like, do you want to be reptile education, reptile entertainment? Do you want to be somewhere in between? Like, what do you want that to kind of look like?
I would say those are like the two most common kind of categories, is like educational content or entertainment content. But there's also like a sweet spot in the middle that some of us try to float into, which is really good. But I think it's super, super important before you even really start posting. And if you have started posting, like, don't worry about this. You can like move it down the line, but like really think about like, what do you want to be known for? Like, what is your niche? Whether, like you said, is it reptiles? Is it something else? Like, whatever it may be, like, what do you want your brand to be about specifically?
Like, I have a crested gecko.
Yeah.
Some people know it, some people don't. But my content on my Neptune the Chameleon page is exclusively chameleons. And I get asked all the time to make care about my crested gecko. And that's not to say Pluto won't pop up on my story or here and there.
He hangs out.
Yeah, but I'm not focusing in that area. And you have a lot of people, Herb Time, right? Who like do like enclosure builds. And like that's like his specialty. And he like really focuses.
And he's so good at it.
In on that, right? Yeah. Then you have other people who are like big lizard species and they're like really into the monitors, and so they're showing you everything about feeding them, caring for them, building their enclosures, but it's a more general category. And then you've got breeders who are showing you behind the scenes of their breeding projects, and so those are kind of just some examples of how you can kind of hone in a little bit.
There's a lot of it. So anyway, what was the next one you were thinking?
This one I want you to speak to. Have a recognizable look.
Oh, yes.
Because you've done some very
you.
small but like strategic things to tie into this. So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Share your thoughts. Do you sell reptiles? Be sure to check out the Palm Street app, a place where you can have your very own live auctions to help find your reptiles amazing homes in a community full of thousands of reptile lovers. To apply to be a seller, go to page.palmstreet.app/reptile.
They prioritize ethical breeding and trading practices, ensuring all reptiles on their platform come from responsible sources. Once approved, Palm Street's reptile team will guide you through every step. From setting up your reptile shop to going live for the first time, you'll get hands-on support to sell confidently, safely, and responsibly.
Everyone's been asking Pangea to make their PVC enclosures in even bigger sizes, and they have delivered.
Their new high-quality PVC enclosures are not only bigger at 22 by 17 by 36 inches, but they also feature easier assembly, better ventilation, and they're perfectly sized to fit side by side on your metal shelving units.
I can't wait to try these enclosures out for my new Caledonian geckos. They are perfect for your arboreal geckos, frogs, snakes, and even more. Check them out at PangeaReptile.com.
Okay, Neptune, what are your top 2 feeder bugs for all your critters?
Dubious for protein and black soldier fly larvae for lots of calcium.
Simpton offers a wide variety of insects like silkworms, dubia roaches, waxworms, and our favorites, black soldier fly larvae.
I've also heard the entomologists at Simpton have customized the diet of their black soldier fly larvae to maximize their calcium content, so there's no need to dust them with calcium.
So if you're interested in trying them out, use code THEWILDTYPE at SimptonBSF.com for 15% off your order. So I think something that's super important that you can hone in on this is having a place that you film consistently that is like your background is predictable. When people see your content, they know what to expect. They know what the look is going to be. They know what the vibe is going to be, because predictability is something that viewers really, really love, right? Mm-hmm. So a really good example of this, I'm sure you know of him, but Keith Lee. So it has nothing to do with reptiles.
Oh, the food guy.
The food guy. So Keith Lee, from the minute that he started posting, he was a food reviewing person. He's obviously grown and expanded much more now, but initially his expectation was he would come into frame. It would be his kid's little toddler chair. He would come into frame, sit down, and he would say the exact same thing to start it every time of like, today we're going to rank this food 1 through 10, blah, 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 blah. And he would end all of his videos with the exact same thing. So setting your viewers up to know what to expect from beginning to end with some like unusual stuff in the middle there is really good, because that's where they get comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's where they feel it's relatable. They feel and they can digest it better when they're not super surprised with stuff.
With every single one of my YouTube videos, I say, we're going to be talking about this. And then I say, without further ado, let's get into the video. Mm-hmm. And then my intro plays every single time. Yep. Another good example is Molinaro Snake Labs. Mm-hmm. He has his top hat, right? With his little head and his editing style and everything. You know, when you see that little top hat, you know exactly whose video it is. Mm-hmm. Some things you've done, because you haven't called them out, is you always have pink font, pink text. Always. And it's always the same shade of pink in the same type of font, but that's very recognizable to the point, and obviously I've seen a lot of your videos, when I see another creator using that exact same font.
That's Lyssa's font. What are you doing?
But I get a little deja vu of like my brain being like, wait, this isn't about, your content. One thing you did too is like your pink mic.
I did get a pink mic to go with my pink text. Because I was like, you know what? I decided a long time ago, and it was actually like I've kind of liked the pink vibe for years now. I've had it for a very long time. But then when we did the podcast, I was like, you love purple. It's funny because we're literally wearing this today.
We're both wearing merch, and you're unplanned.
This was
you're
fully
wearing pink
not
merch,
planned.
and I'm wearing purple merch.
But you prefer the purple color. I typically prefer the pink color, and that's actually pretty funny because you also, for a while there, I can't remember if you're still doing it, but you were using the purple text a lot.
All my covers on my TikTok are purple. I felt sometimes the purple text was hard to read on some things, so on screen I've been using white with a black outline, but I use the exact same font style across all of my videos. Yeah.
I switch up the font every now and then because TikTok has some like cool fonts that I like to play with on occasion, but I try to keep it mostly the same. But I wanted to bring in the pink and also I did like update on my website. My logo, Lyssa's Lizards, is now pink. It was previously orange, so I like updated that to match all my social media stuff, to match my pink mic when I use things. So like those kind of things that people know what to expect from you and they start to relate those certain things to your brand,
Yeah.
gives you like a tangible brand that people recognize. And that's just a very important part of it.
And it doesn't have to be this big elaborate
No.
thing, like just standing in front of your enclosures, right?
Yes.
Would be sufficient.
Well, that's the other thing I've done too, is like I have the same, and that actually when I've like moved homes and stuff, I'm like, all right, where's my new space? What's my new like angle? So like having something that is simply, like I said, like you said, it doesn't have to be intricate. It can just be a certain font. It can just be a certain color. It can just be you have the same background in every single video. Like
Yep.
it really can be that simple. So
Yep. And then creating some sort of like hook or tagline. I know you're really big on this, but like a short phrase that appears in your bio, like for us, like we're your reptile girlies, right? Like that's big. So just if there's any way that you can kind of sneak that in, then I think that can help solidify your brand and kind of ground people on what to expect with your content.
I would even add to that and say in your bio specifically, and granted, each platform is different and they have different character counts. So it's going to vary depending on the platform. But I think either having a specific tagline, or if you're still starting out and you don't necessarily have like a specific tagline to go into your bio, what is your purpose? What is your goal? What are you there for? Like if you go to my Instagram bio, it literally says your reptile love and bestie, helping you improve your reptile care standards or something like that. It's like, who are you? What's your goal?
Yeah, I think mine says something along the lines of like everything about Chameleon care.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like, so when people, because what's going to happen is they're going to stumble across your video, then they're going to click on your profile, and then they're like, do I want to follow this account? Yes or no? And these are instantaneous decisions, and it has to appeal to them. You have to be providing value, whether that's through education or entertainment. So those are all ways within just like the top 1/3 of your page that you can kind of hook someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Now let's talk about content. Content strategy. So what I think is a really smart idea is to stick with short form. Like a lot of people try to jump like right into long form content. And if you just have a really big passion for editing long form content, by all means.
Yeah.
But short form, I think, is a really good way to dip your toe in, whether that's like Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Like I think because you can produce that a little bit quicker.
It's quicker. It's also a better playground. And I think that's really important because you can try out new strategies and you can try different ideas and try new things. Whereas committing to long form content, you really want to have some of those things consistently nailed down before you go into that.
Yeah.
So I think if you don't really know what your purpose is, you don't really know what your brand is, you don't really know what you want to be known for. Like if you're really just like, I'm starting fresh and I have no clue, like shoot it, like go, like try, like shorter form is
because
lower.
it's going to come and go really quickly.
Yes.
Also, I think your potential for discovery is also
higher.
like you're going to get more views and reach, I think, faster and easier than in the long form game where it's a lot harder to get that reach, to hit new followers,
much
to like
slower
get
growth,
momentum.
much lower discovery, like all of that.
Yeah. So some like I think go-to ideas if you're looking for like what content do I even make, behind the scenes care.
Yes.
So that could be feeding, enclosure cleaning, if you do like a vet visit, day in my life. And this can be really fun if you can start to tie it into your day job. So like I did once like feeding my my chameleons before my big girl job. It's like literally me in my blazer like at 7 a.m. The enclosure lights aren't even on yet and I'm like picking out roaches before I go clock in for work, you know? And I'm like, that's relatable, right?
My 7 to 8 before my 9 to 5. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Do you have any?
Basically, I was going to say, and you kind of started to talk about this a little bit, but like coming up with, and this is very like marketing speak, this is coming from more so my career brain, not necessarily just my content creator brain.
Yeah.
But there are things called content buckets. And that's kind of what you were talking about.
That's
like,
one bucket.
That's one bucket. So like educational videos is a bucket of content. Vlogs is a bucket of content, right?
Yep.
And so like having these specific buckets or like categories helps you to strategize those things in your brain so that you can even space it out of like each week, you know that you're going to have one educational video, one vlog video, one care video, like whatever those buckets may be, it helps you organize the types of videos so that you're not just spinning your wheels on like, what do I create today?
It makes it less daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some other buckets, edutainment, right? Where it's like educational and entertaining.
Yeah.
Before and after transformations, this can be really good.
Always good.
If you're doing like before a shed, after a shed, before you revamp it with plants, after you revamp it with plants, like
Before
those
the
types
Mist
of
King,
things.
after the Mist King, which you
Yeah.
got to hear turning on today.
Exactly. Reptile ASMR, right? Don't sleep
Yeah.
on those. Like, it doesn't have to be this glitzy, glammy edit
Yeah.
with this voiceover music. You can just keep it very like.
And one great content bucket is feeding your reptiles.
Yep.
Just feeding them.
Species spotlight, trending sounds, like those are all things, and
Yeah.
like you can just pick one from each of those. Do
Yeah.
say like 3-week whatever is realistic, and then that kind of gets you going
Yep.
in like a good routine, and then you'll find over time what styles you gravitate towards, because some will
Yeah.
be enjoyable to make and some won't be.
Yeah,
So,
and you'll also start to learn what people care about
Yeah.
and what people are watching you for,
Yeah.
or like what they prefer. And granted, it should be about what you want to create. Make that very clear. You should always be. But you do, if there are things that your audience wants to see or hear that they care about, and it is stuff that you enjoy, focus
Double
on
win.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, so you want to make sure you do all that. I have one.
do it.
I think that anybody who wants to do most, like 99% of social media accounts, you have to get comfy talking on camera and you have to show your face. I'm really sorry.
Oh, this is good, because there are some reptile creators who have intentionally chosen not to.
And that's great. I do just think it's the anomaly for that to be successful.
Yeah.
If your goal is to grow and get some kind of like success from it. If
Yes.
you're just posting to post, that's a different story.
Two come to mind: Exotic Slayer, big tarantula YouTuber,
I don't even know that one.
does not show his face. Leopard Gecko, another one.
Yes. I
Now-
literally thought about her when I wrote this down.
For both of those creators, they've been on YouTube for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So they were in the game before short form content
Was a thing.
So they were able to capitalize on that and build their brand successfully
Yes.
without doing that. Now, if you are trying to do that presently, you are competing against established channels like
Yes.
Exotic Slayer and Leopard Gecko, who
Yes.
have been around for a really long time and have a very loyal
Fan
following,
base.
right? And brand, right? You know exactly what you're getting
yeah.
when you're watching one of their videos. They've specialized in their style, right? And you're competing against all the people who are trying to break into the short form content space. So how are you going to stand out?
How are you going to differentiate yourself? Like, what is it about you that makes yourself different from them, different from other people? Like, and that's good for whether you want to show your face or not. That's important.
Yeah,
But
it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But just recognize it's going to be a lot harder
yes.
to do that. And as someone who's kind of like gone through that experience
I
myself.
was going to say, you started out with no face.
Yep. No
So,
face.
no
I
face.
still have no name.
Yes.
But you now see my face. But my Neptune and Chameleon Instagram, back when I was just on Instagram, was literally Neptune. Like,
Yeah.
I was nowhere to be seen.
Nope.
You would not know what I look like, and we've talked about this when we met, because you didn't know what I looked like.
Yeah.
But it was just really, really difficult when I started creeping into educational and then soon entertaining content, because you're limited and that you are exclusively relying on a voiceover. How can you make that engaging, especially when you're dealing with people who are watching stuff muted? They're just
Yes.
scrolling,
Yes.
right? So like now you have to have captions, but is that enough to hook them? Maybe
Yes.
not, right? If you want to do trending sounds or things like that, that's a lot harder because you're limited to the ones that don't require
It's
your
just
face being seen.
so limiting. I personally would not recommend, but I understand if that's really important to you to not do what is best for you, but it is just very limiting.
It'll be harder.
and it'll be a lot harder.
Not
So,
impossible, just a lot harder.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said of like human to human. Yes, we're going through a screen,
Yes.
but we're seeking relationships, we're seeking connection.
Community, yeah.
And so to be able to, like, there's a reason why this podcast is a video podcast,
Yeah,
not
that was-
just an audio,
Very intentional.
not just an audio only podcast, right? Like to be able to build that
Yeah.
connection and that relationship. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's just one of my big things, because I know a lot of people want to, like, have a pet account and make money from their pets and do all this stuff and like not have to worry about like getting personal or showing their face or, ruining their privacy or whatever. Like, I have so much respect for that, and I so understand it, because the internet is a scary place. It's just going to be so much harder.
Yes. And I
So-
do sometimes find it challenging because I have a lot of interest outside of reptiles. And I was like, oh, it'd be really fun if I like put this on my social media, but that's a personal boundary that I've kind of set in place. But there's so many times I'm like, oh, it'd be a lot easier for me to get brand deals if I did this. It'd be a lot easier for me to reach a new audience if I included this. And like, I recognize that I'm handicapping myself a little bit by doing that, but that's my personal comfort zone. So like, I've made my peace with that.
Stay in what you're comfortable with. Like, do what you're comfortable with, but it's just you gotta weigh the pros and the cons, right? Like, you gotta kind of figure out what's best for you and like what you want to do.
Yeah.
But speaking of someone who wasn't like, I've never lacked confidence in my content necessarily, but when I look back at the first videos I did like on TikTok back in the day, like I was so much more uncomfortable, and it has been very fulfilled for anybody who may be nervous about the being on camera thing. I just want to say, like, there is a crazy amount of comfortability that you get from it after a long time.
Yep.
And it's a skill that comes with practice and consistency. So like, if you're just starting out and you're like, I'm going to show my face and I'm really scared, like, just know that the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. And it does get so much better.
And if you want to feel better, scroll all the way back to my very first YouTube channel or video I've done. It's not that hard because you could filter by oldest and newest. So click old. You're welcome to watch my very first video where I'm sitting on my couch.
We were nervous. You were nervous.
But and like I remember back when we would go to expos and we were just getting into content creation, we would share a hotel or something, and you would want to do like a voiceover.
Yeah.
You asked me to put headphones on.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to hear me. I was so stressed. Now I don't care.
Because you did it so, like it took you so many takes.
Yeah.
You had to keep redoing it because you kept messing up because it was a new skill. Nowadays, it would take you 1 or 2 tries.
Max 3.
Right.
If it's like a mouthful.
Right.
Yeah.
And you would nail it. But that's truly a learned skill. I grew up as a theater kid, so like I feel like that put me in a little bit of a head start being in front of camera. But putting yourself on the internet and opening yourself up for judgment and criticism, that will never get easier.
No,
that's not something like that's just something you have to decide if it's worth it or not for you, for whatever the reason why you're creating the content in the first place. But
yeah, absolutely. But I just wanted to cover that basis of getting on camera. We know it's hard. We know it's tough.
And tips and tricks for growth. Posting consistently, we've talked about this before, but being realistic, right? Whatever that looks like for you and your schedule and time commitments. But a tip for that is creating in batches.
Yes.
Right?
Hugely important.
Filming multiple videos in one session. And this goes back to if you can kind of pick those categories of like, I'm going to do an ASMR one, I'm going to do a behind the scenes, and I'm going to do a trending audio. Yep. You will switch shirts when you batch create.
I do.
I do not. So you'll see... Because that's not important for me. It's important for you.
It's important to me.
But it's not important enough for me to change my shirt.
I also like to have cute looks. So I like to like mix it up.
I will change if I'm batch filming YouTube videos. I will not change if I'm batch filming short form. Because I'm going for just like trying to get it done. But if you change your shirt, help yourself. But like if you batch film though, that really helps. Because then you don't have to do your hair ones, your makeup ones. You get it done and then you can focus on editing. So that's
I used to be so good at the batch filming, and I've just been failing at that lately. But it's a very good skill.
Yes, but you have to have a plan, right? In order to that, you have to kind of know.
And
ahead
you have to like know that you have enough time to do X amount, and you have to
easy.
And you have to come up with the ideas before. It's it's planning. It is very important.
And cross post. So like, don't feel like you have to make something unique for YouTube, unique for TikTok, unique for Instagram. You can make one video and post it across all of them. And then engaging in your community, right? So that's responding to all the comments that come through your page, but then also reaching out to other content creators and engaging in their posts, because I think a lot of people focus on how do I get people to find me, how to get more views on my video. Valid, but no one knows who you are. So you have to go and find them first.
You have to make some connections. You have to show up in the comment section, because honestly, and again, this is my like brand marketer hat, but like people find people in the comments these days. It's not just on the FYP on your feed. Like it is, you can literally find people in the comments, and the comments are like half the fun of the social media in general these days. And so like if you are showing up in the comments a lot and like trying to make connections and like complimenting other people's content, you know, engaging with other stuff, like that will not only help you build community yourself, not just so much your audience, you will potentially start to like make relationships with people that you are inspired by.
Yep.
And that in turn helps you build your audience and also helps to create a community for yourself.
That's dream scenario.
Dream
right
scenario.
there. What's probably more realistic to start, at least until you can get to that point.
100%, yeah.
We do this with the podcast. I'll look up girls with reptiles.
Yeah.
And then I'll just find other videos that I'm like, this girl who's got this like badass snake or whatever with these like fire set nails.
Like that is a fire reptile girly. She should listen to the podcast.
Yes. And so then
we're like, we just want to pluck you out and be like, hey, we want to hang.
Like their video. I will drop a sincere comment and make sure it's sincere, because being like, cool vid bro, you know, like it's not going to resonate. But we have gotten some new listeners because they're like, ooh, the Wild Type podcast? What's that? A girly reptile? Sign me up. I'm going to drop them a follow. Yeah. And then you either are interested or you're not. But like I used to do that back in the day with Neptune the Chameleon. I looked up hashtag chameleon. And then I would go and find content that I genuinely liked, not just dropping likes for the sake of liking, right? They were sincere likes. Yeah. I would drop a comment and I would drop a follow. And then they would click on my page. We only comment
if we really mean it.
Yes.
Okay.
It has to mean something.
We're not just free willy commenting it out here.
No. But then they would be like, oh, Neptune the Chameleon, what's that page? And then they would either not follow me back, which is whatever, or they would. And I was like, cool. Like now I have a mutual follow. And then, it's great. You know, you can build that. But like seeking out people in relationships, I think, is more realistic than expecting people to just magically find you.
You can't expect people to find you out of nowhere. Or also, like, I'm going to be really honest, you can't expect people to care about what you're doing if you aren't also caring about what other people are doing.
Yep.
Like you have to invest in the community if you want the community yourself.
Ooh, that's good.
That's just the realism of it.
That's good. Yeah.
You know? By now you've heard us talk all about Scratches, the social app that helps exotic pet owners like us find their people.
You can add photos of you and all your scaly babies, set your filter to reptiles, and start scrolling through your local pet parents who get it. Think of Scratches as your way of avoiding the ever-looming "so do you have any pets?" question. Whether you're looking for friendship, romance, or someone who can pet sit your critters, your community is just a new match away.
Download Scratches today and start connecting with reptile keepers in your area. Available on iOS and Android.
We're so excited to introduce the Reptile Girlies to our favorite reptile-friendly coffee and tea brand, Cold Blooded Caffeine. Our favorite thing about them is that they donate 5% of all their proceeds to wildlife conservation to ensure reptiles and amphibians have a place to call home in the wild, as well as in our homes.
And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with herbal teas. So for any of our fellow tea lovers, they source some of the highest quality loose leaf teas in the world.
Cold-Blooded Caffeine offers a wide variety of coffee like their Rainforest Blend, single origin options, and collaborations with some of the biggest names in the reptile world.
For 25% off your first order, use code WILDTYPE at coldbloodedcaffeine.com. Are you looking for a new enclosure for one of your reptile babies? Be sure to check out Cages with a K. Each enclosure is made to order by their team in Minnesota, which means they can even do custom builds.
The enclosures are made from high-quality PVC with tempered glass doors, allowing for superior heat and humidity retention. They offer screen tops, side vents, and belly heat customization options to ensure the ideal setup for any environment.
So whatever dream home you want built, Cages has you covered. Use code WILDTYPE50 to get $50 off any order over $300 at reptilecages.com.
Okay, and then the last thing I had written down here is like sharing your personality.
Yes.
Not just your reptiles. That goes back to kind of what you're saying of like putting yourself on camera. If your humor's your thing, great. If being more serious is great. If you're more a fact science person, lean into that. And using story posts to like build connection can be really good. And one thing that I had written down was sharing small fails and lessons learned. People trust accounts that feel human.
This is so important and so valid, because I think this is just like bringing up thoughts in my head. This community can be very harsh in the reptile world. And again, if you're not doing the reptile stuff, this is specifically in the reptile world. Like, it can be very harsh with care if you're doing things right or not right. And I think if you are trying to build a social media account and your goal is to be educational and you're coming in hot and you're like, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, and this and this and this, and you have all these things, just don't have the ego of like, I've never done anything wrong. Especially if you're new to reptile keeping and you're new here and all this stuff, like, be aware that like you can make mistakes, because that is something that is incredibly relatable for every single reptile keeper.
Absolutely.
We can all relate to screwing up. We can all relate to having used red light bulbs at one point, used reptile carpet
Check
at
out
one
our
point.
episode we did on mistakes we've made.
Literally.
That we've made. And then we've also
Literally.
done mistakes to avoid. But
I have flat out posted pictures and videos of Charlie, my leopard gecko, on orange sand. Okay, orange calcium sand. It was so bad, guys.
Cheeto fingers.
Yes, he had his little feet. He had to go through like 2 sheds to get off that orange. We have all made mistakes. It is relatable, and relatability, in my opinion, is just as important as like consistency and some of those other things. Like,
Because you're human.
you're human. We're all going to make mistakes. Like, just don't go into it, especially if one of your goals is to be educational and grow. Like, don't go into it being like, I'm setting the standard. You want to own your mistakes, and sharing those can help other people feel heard, feel seen, feel understood.
It honestly establishes your credibility.
That too.
Because then
Yeah.
when you do say something
Yeah.
that you're confident in, it's like, oh, they must know what they're talking
Yes.
about. Because when they were able to raise their hand and admit, hey guys, I messed up, that means you're like, that says a lot.
It says a lot about your character. It says a lot about being able to admit when you're wrong, being able to learn, grow, change, make improvements. Like, I think those things are what human beings look for in people that they care about. And so if you're able to share those things, it just goes a really long way.
Yeah. That's good. That's like character. Like,
It
in
is.
your soul.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it literally is. Like, I'm sorry, but if there is a content creator out there who's just like being a jerk and being like, I've never made any mistakes, I'm perfect, I'm like, cool, I hate you. Like, I want somebody that is like, can understand what failure looks like, what mistakes happen. Like,
You're authentic. It's
Yes.
genuine. It's
Yes.
sincere. Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody is perfect, and we should all own that.
Yeah. But I guess my last thing for tips for being a reptile content creator, it's a grind, but it's also so rewarding.
It's so
and it should be fun.
rewarding.
Okay? Yes, it's a grind because like that consistency and perseverance and like getting beat down by comments on the internet, but like you have to remember why you started in the first place, and others because you want to share your joy and passion and excitement and things
Yeah.
you've learned with other people. So that's I guess what I'll leave with.
I agree. Truly, like, at the end of the day, and this is something that I like, the have fun aspect is something that I am actively relearning, because I got so in the trenches with like so many different things in regards to like social media and content creation that like some of the fun got kind of sucked out of it. And so I'm like relearning how fun it is and like coming up with fresh ideas and things like that. So also just know, not only make sure that you're always having fun, but if you start to not have as much fun for a little bit, just know that it can come back around.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a season of that, and it can be a little bit of like an ebb and flow, and like that's okay.
Yeah, totally fine.
So
Okay. Are you good on that?
Yes.
Okay. Let us know in the comments any tips and tricks you guys have for
Yeah.
kind of like growing your reptile content creator brand, because we're always open to
always.
new ideas, but fun little twist of a question. And we want to know your guys' answer. So start brainstorming. If you could be any reptile for a day, which one would you be?
Do you want my answer right away?
I think we have the same answer.
Oh, we do?
Maybe.
Oh,
You want to say it at the same time?
sure.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Tuatara.
Oh!
Oh,
I was
no.
going to say Komodo dragon.
That would be my second.
Okay,
That
I knew it
would-
was gonna be high on your list.
It was
So I had a
definitely.
backup one just
It was
in case.
definitely thought about, but my number one reason why I said Tuatara is because you literally can't kill them. They're like super protected, and they get to live in
killing
New
a Komodo
Zealand.
dragon would also be
Yeah, that'd be a big no-no. Big
would
no-no.
be pretty difficult to do.
But I just mean like they're super protected in New Zealand. They're like very rare, very special. They get to live in New Zealand, which is sick. And I would love, 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 love to live in New Zealand. So
What's the diet of a tuatara?
I can't remember, and I should have looked this up beforehand. I want to say they do veggies and insects.
Veggies is was what popped in my head.
I am currently Googling, but I should know this.
Okay.
Prime example of me not knowing things and not being an expert and not being perfect.
There you go. No, I would love to be Komodo dragon in the amount of documentaries I've seen on Komodo dragons. And most of the times they're just chilling on like what looks like a beach, and they're just like walking around doing like Komodo dragon things, or just basking in the sun and not a care in the world. Because again, who's eating a Komodo dragon?
Literally nobody.
I'm like,
I hope nobody.
That would be sick.
No, absolutely. And they're so big.
Yes.
Like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
That's why it was like definitely number 2 on my list. But I was like, but New Zealand and inability to be killed, basically.
Pretty good.
I was like, that's a pretty good life.
What does it
so
say?
Their diet is very much what I was thinking. So I should have just been confident and gone with my gut. But it's very similar to like skink stuff. So
that makes
insects,
sense.
eggs, worms, snails. I would even argue this is actually closer to Voldemort, my legless lizard's diet. So it does say small vertebrates. So they do eat some small lizards, frogs, seabird chicks, seabird eggs, lizard eggs. So I would say very similar to like skinks and legless lizards, stuff like that. So that's what I was thinking. I just wasn't 100% sure.
Okay, my number 2 choice, in case you also had Komodo dragon, was the paradise flying tree snake.
Oh, I would not have thought about that, but hell yeah, I want to fly like that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a fabulous choice.
Because
it's a creative one too. Look at you go.
Thank you.
I love that
The
one.
episode we did on like weird reptiles you've never heard of, I brought up the paradise flying snake where it basically like catapults itself off of a tree and like flies.
Crazy.
And like I feel like that'd be so cool. And you're a snake, yes, you are prey for some, birds and such, but like you still get to be like pretty high up the food chain and like slithering on all the little branches and everything. I think that'd be really cool.
I mean, I frequently look at birds and I'm like, wow, what is that like to just like be able to fly? Imagine if you're a snake just like being like, shing.
That's what I'm saying.
Across the forest. That's incredible.
So that was my like
Oh, that's a good one.
backup.
Good for you. That's a good one.
My backup option. Okay.
Well, and now I'm so excited. We talked about this. Was this a couple episodes ago?
Yeah.
We threw this out there and we are pulling it right back out. We are blind ranking types of potatoes that you can eat.
Yes.
And I'm so excited.
Because I had brought up my girl dinner or whatever, right? And I had like some tater tots, and then I brought up how like, you said you love potatoes, and I was like, there's so many ways you can have potatoes. We should blind rank them.
So here we are.
Yes. Okay. So for those of you who aren't familiar with our blind ranking, it's 1 through 5. You have a list. I have a list. I don't know what's on yours. You don't know what's on mine. And we have to rank them best to worst without knowing what comes next.
I'm so excited. You want me to go first?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Also, I feel like I'm getting more succinct in explaining
You are.
what that is.
We've
But I feel like if we're on like episode 90 something at this point. If you've been listening, you know how this goes.
You know how it works. Okay, so number 1.
I'm so nervous.
Loaded mashed potatoes.
Loaded.
Loaded.
So we're talking cheese, bacon.
Yes. It's usually butter, sour cream, cheese, bacon, and sometimes chives, but I would say like
hold the chives.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I love loaded anything.
I do too. It's one of my favorites. So
And I love mashed potatoes, so that's very high, but I'm saving my number 1 spot.
That's fair. Okay. Then next we have Hasselback potatoes. Do you know what these are?
Yes, only because I did my research on potatoes in preparation for this episode.
So for any of our viewers who may not know,
who didn't Google potatoes beforehand.
Yeah, they did not have that additional homework. Yes. So these are like the smaller potatoes, but they are not chopped. They are sliced, not all the way through, but enough to where it kind of creates a little bit of like a fan texture on the top, right? And then they're usually covered with butter so that the butter goes in between the potato. And then a little like, salt and pepper and all that good stuff.
I've never actually had these before.
Oh, wow.
I know what they are because, again, I was Googling.
Yeah.
Googling potatoes. I'll put them at number 4.
Okay. They're very good. My mom's made them before.
Because I don't see any reason why I wouldn't like them, but I do think there's other potato forms that I would prefer.
It's fair.
Over those.
Okay. So we've got spots 2 and 4 filled up.
Yep.
Okay. Up next, we have mashed potatoes with gravy.
5.
Oh, Interesting.
Yep. I'll eat them. Okay, when you say gravy, are you thinking brown or
Oh, no,
white?
white gravy.
Yeah, 5. I only like brown gravy.
What?
Only like brown gravy.
Do you eat chicken fried steak?
No.
That is like a sin in this household.
We grew up in very different parts of the country.
Oh my, I'm like upset.
No, okay, so here's the thing. With white gravy, it has this like very peppery.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very pepper forward.
Yes, it is. It is pepper forward.
And I don't really care for pepper.
Okay, this makes more sense. This is fine. You're forgiven.
Thank
I'll
you.
allow it. I'll allow it.
Therefore, I don't really care for white gravies, and I
Yeah.
prefer brown gravies. So that's why I specified. But like, I would definitely prefer the loaded mashed potatoes, which is
Oh, me
why
too.
I was like,
Me too.
what comes on it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'll eat brown gravy or white. I would not eat white gravy. I would basically just eat plain mashed potatoes over that.
I can drink some white gravies.
Get you a straw.
I literally could.
Yeah. Number
Wow.
5. That's good because I was like, what am I going to put the bottom? Because I love potatoes.
Well, there you go. All right.
There you
All
go.
right. Because when I think gravy, I think white gravy and chicken fried steak. That's like
Fair?
my favorite.
No, I like KFC, brown gravy. I'll get down with that any day of the week.
Wow. That is wild. I wouldn't touch that. That is so funny. Anyway, we're very different on our potato preferences.
Yes, this is why it's a good debate. Okay.
Okay.
I have 1 and 3 left.
1 and 3. So just a classic twice baked potato.
Oh, similar to a loaded mashed potato.
Yes, but it's basically the shell of the potato.
Yes.
You mix it up, you put it back in, you put some more cheese on it, and then you put it back in the oven. And it's
The first time I
all-
had these were actually with an ex-boyfriend's
Oh,
mom
really?
who made them. And he was like raving about these twice baked potatoes. And I
Yeah.
never had them basically until college. They are so much work.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a lot of work.
So
For
much
sure.
work. I saw her make them and I was like, you have to bake potato, which
Yes.
takes like an hour.
hour.
Then you have to scoop it all out, basically make mashed potatoes, which is a whole other thing. Then put it back in. I'm like, she must really love you to
Yeah.
make you these twice baked.
No, but they're incredible. They're
Okay.
so good.
I'm putting them number 3 just because there's something I'm waiting for to put at number 1. And I have 2 things in my head and I'm hoping one of them is on your list.
I don't know.
Come on. What's it going to be?
Au gratin potatoes.
Dang. Where's the french fries? Where's the tater tots?
I specifically didn't do that because I knew that you would have those on your list. That was strategic. I'm so sorry.
I was like, I'm
You're
like, there
so
have
upset.
to be,
You're so upset.
because I don't like those very much.
I love au gratin potatoes.
They're fine.
I
They're
specifically...
slippery. They're not even very flavorful.
You are on thin ice over there with your lack of white gravy, and now you're bashing my au gratin potatoes.
I can't even pronounce it
You
correctly.
need to watch it.
I would have put those number 5.
It gets worse.
If I had to re-rank, we would have put twice baked potato at the top.
Fair.
Loaded mashed potatoes.
Fair.
What was the other one?
We had the Hasselback potatoes.
Oh yeah, those I would have put number 3.
Yes.
Then I would have put mashed potatoes and gravy 4, and then your stupid
You have
au
clear.
gratin, however you pronounce it.
You need
number
to come.
5.
You need to come to another family dinner where we're serving au gratin potatoes because my family makes them unreal.
There's like another
So
casserole or something that your family made that
Oh,
you were
yeah.
raving about. Haven't tried that,
There's
but
a-
I'm down.
that would be my nana's broccoli rice casserole, and you are incredibly missing out on that. It's made with cheese
Just
whiz.
tell me when and where. I'll be there.
She
Whiz?
whips out the cheese whiz and plops it on top of the
Oh
casserole.
man, that's a throwback.
It is unreal.
Okay,
My turn.
I'm fine with all those except for the au gratin.
I'm so
at
sorry.
The top.
I
I'll
spec-
eat them.
I was kind
They're
of
fine.
I was kind of mean because not mean. I was intentional because I didn't want to put tater tots or fries on there because I knew that you were going to include them.
Well, now I'm not including those on my list because I made a list of
Fine.
10, just depending on what you had on there.
Always got to have backup.
Okay, we're starting out potato wedges.
Oh, 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
They're okay.
Yeah. If they're really salty and extra crispy, they could maybe go up to 3. I'm going to keep it at 4, but
Okay.
yeah, it kind of depends. I'm a texture person when it comes to those.
Hash browns.
Oh, what kind of hash browns are we talking? Are we talking McDonald's hash brown? Are we talking these stringy ones that you cook in a frying pan?
Classic diner breakfast hash browns, stringy,
So like
fried,
shredded,
flat.
fried. Okay.
Yep.
My gut is telling me 5, but I also feel like that's going to screw me over. So I'm thinking 3.
3?
Sure.
3 and 4?
Sure. I don't trust you. Not after you just bashed all my favorites.
It's your list, not mine.
I know.
Okay, we're going to follow it up with another breakfast potato. Breakfast hash.
What's the difference from that and hash browns?
Oh, okay. So breakfast hash are like the little cube potatoes
Oh.
with like usually like the peppers and
Yes.
onions.
Yes. Okay. So I have already done 4 and 3. I do like those. So I will.
You know, but to me that's a different form of potato.
Yeah. No, it totally is. Totally very different. You can also have that kind of hash in like sweet potatoes, which is also very good with like a burger or a different thing. Anyway, I digress. I'll go ahead and do 2. Every time I do these, I feel like I'm making mistakes.
So you're leaving 1 and 5?
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm going to do 5.
Okay, so 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay. What do I want to pick?
Now you're just
next?
being mean. I can see it all over your face that you're being mean.
I know what's going to be my last one, but what I say next, I'm between 2. Do you know what fondant potatoes are?
I don't think so.
The potato queen does not
I
know.
don't think I've ever had. I don't think I've ever even heard of
Okay,
that.
which I had a feeling, so then I'll use my backup one.
Okay.
French fries.
Oh.
I'll give you French fries.
But again, it depends on the fry and where it's coming from and what
Oh,
it's
yeah,
shaped
I'm going
like.
to pick McDonald's French fries.
Okay.
A classic.
Okay. Honestly, we're going to go. We're just. It could be 1 or it could be 2. I don't know. It really could be either.
Just gotta pick one.
I'm just going to do number 1 because I will always get down to some McDonald's fries.
Okay.
We've eaten a lot of McDonald's fries together.
So fondant potatoes are like pan-seared potatoes. So they're usually like, they kind of look like scallops, but they're potatoes. And they're usually like pan-seared, so they're golden on the top with a little crispy top and bottom.
I actually feel like I would love that, but I've never heard of it.
Because you haven't had them,
Right,
though.
yeah,
Even
it's
though I
not-
haven't had Hasselback potatoes. But
Yeah.
I didn't want you to have to rank something that you're like, don't even know.
I appreciate
I at least
that.
knew what a Hasselback potato was.
Yes.
In my thorough
I've
potato
never
research.
heard of fondant potato. I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds really good. I feel like I would like it. I haven't tried it.
So your number 2,
Oh no, what'd you do
by
to me?
default, is a tornado potato.
What is that?
So you know when you go to the fair and it's like the potato that's like rings, but it's on a stick.
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
These are so good.
I was gonna say it sounds incredible.
Okay, so it's a wooden skewer.
Okay.
With a potato, like a russet potato, but instead of being like chopped up like a Hasselback, it's in a spiral, pulled out, and then it has all kinds of like seasoning on it. It's called tornado potato.
Okay, thank God that's my number 2. I've never had it, but
They're
like yes.
so good.
That sounds incredible. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, and they're like fried, so they're like a little bit crispy.
Okay, well,
and they're
good thing the
like-
fair is coming up soon because we're gonna have to go because I'm gonna have to try that because that sounds right up my
so
alley.
good.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
Not honorable mentions not included. Tater tots,
Yes.
scallop potatoes, roasted potatoes. I also had on there the Hasselback, but I think everything else we had discussed. So,
And that's literally not even all of them.
oh no,
I would argue that it's not even half.
so many things with potatoes.
You can do so much with potatoes. I freaking love potatoes.
potato chip. Oh, should put a potato chip.
How did we
Was I-
forget that?
What was I doing?
That was right there for us to grab and we didn't even think about it.
Missed the potato
Missed
chip.
opportunity.
Yeah, but there you guys go. Now you
Yes.
know more about us and our opinions.
On potatoes.
Like, so what'd you do today? Oh, I listened to this podcast. Oh, what'd they talk about?
Types of potatoes.
Oh, yeah. You know. the usual.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed.
Yes, hope you enjoy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to another episode of the Wild Type Podcast. Make sure you follow the podcast on all things social. You can check me out everywhere, Neptune the Chameleon.
And everywhere for me as well, at Lyssa Lizards, and the podcast at the Wild Type Podcast.
Oh, yes. Classic.
Obviously.
Otherwise, thank you guys so much. We will catch you guys in the next Tuesday. In the next Tuesday.
On the next Tuesday.
On the next Tuesday in the next episode.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.